I've been playing a game called Wasted, which is like kind of a roguelike-y thing
Did
where
you
all of the
waste all the
smart
pita
people,
bread?
all the smart people have died off because they were in bunkers, kind of like Fallout. And of course, the people that made the bunkers like cut so many costs that everybody just ended up super irradiated
Oh
and
no.
like zombies. So the only people remaining are the people that were too dumb or poor to make it into the vaults. So mainly just a bunch of idiots.
So like Fallout
that are-
Idiocracy?
Yeah, it really is Fallout Idiocracy.
It's like
and
Idiocracy
so
and fast forward.
one of the better healing items is just called liquid bread.
Wait, how did they... Wait, I'm confused. How'd they live? If all the people died... What?
They're like cockroaches, man. They're like cockroaches.
like they're just... Their stupidity makes them immune to radiation?
Yes, actually. Like, they're intentionally getting mutations because they're drinking mysterious liquids and seeing
what was that?
what
Where was that?
happens.
Where'd that happen in like a comedy thing? Was it Fry from Futurama where someone like he was immune to mind control or something because he was too stupid?
I would not be surprised.
It was definitely something.
I think it was.
I think
Yeah,
it was Fry.
Futurama.
What have you found out that there's a slight crafting system in Wasted?
Yes, I have. I refound that workbench at the end of the last episode. I'm like, I should pay attention to this. But
I'm just trying to imagine the kind of, with no context, I'm trying to imagine the type of person that is a survivor in Wasteland. Like, I'm imagining that, like, like punches to the bicep are like a currency.
toilet paper is the currency.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Not better, is it?
It serves a similar function as having bullets be a currency like bullets being a currency in Metro, or cigarettes being a currency in cigarettes as a currency in this War of Mine, where they're both things you'd have to constantly use.
I'm still detecting a
On top of them being a
infestation
currency.
activity. Let's clean it up.
Which is the worst thing to make a currency out of. Stop making a currency out of a thing you're gonna use. You smoked all my money, man. That's a nightmare scenario in this War of Mine, is that quickly there's a cigarette shortage in the universe, so that you benefit from making your own cigarettes because you can sell them. But if you have any smokers in your party, they're going to use some of them every day without asking.
Oh man.
The game doesn't even tell you they're using them. You'll just sometimes see them sitting in a chair smoking. You're like, hey, now. And you can't stop them because it'll make them sad. And then they might kill themselves, and then you're out of characters.
No, don't make them sad.
You can't let people get sad in that game because they might kill themselves or leave, and you have like 3 of them, so it's a big deal if one of them dies for any reason.
I like the idea of this War of Mine, but it represents everything that I hate out of like survival sandbox management games.
First of all, there's no sandbox.
Well, it's kind of sandbox in of the fact that you're like kind of just left to your own devices and you have to figure out how to survive.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly like Minecraft or Terraria. It's a little bit closer to like Don't Starve.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like you have a set number of resources and you have to figure out how to use them until you probably
although it
inevitably
is
die.
several steps more intuitive than Don't Starve.
I'm sure.
You don't have to visit a
But,
wiki to
like,
figure out how to play this War of Mine at any point.
This War of Mine feels like the kind of game that I would love to play in multiplayer, with like each player taking control of like one survivor, and we're all trying to survive, but also like, if we get too sad or whatever, things start happening and impacting our gameplay, so we have to manage like how much of a selfish asshole we are with like whatever. Like I think that would be much more interesting from my perspective. And until it does that, it's like it's hard for me to want to play it.
So what? I'm sorry. Can you re-explain that? Because I'm not sure what you were saying.
Okay, like I'd rather play a game where like me and their players are those player characters.
Oh, where like
Instead
sadness
of-
is an abstract concept of just real life sadness as opposed to a stat in the game.
Well, no, I was thinking like a stat in the game where like your character loses effectiveness. Like you don't perform as well if your character is sad. So if your
That is what
character
happens.
that you're like, well, yeah, but
You can
like
lose
imagine
effectiveness
from like a
for being
multiplayer.
wounded, sick, or depressed.
But like, imagine from a multiplayer perspective. So you, me, and Bird are playing, and because my character is like super depressed, I can't do anything. But I'm also the smoker, so I'm gonna have to start smoking our money. But you guys don't want that because you want to buy something else. So it's kind of like the three of us bickering in real life over like or sort of
it would be interesting if
if
a human controlled every character in this War of Mine, because then you'd actually be role playing them individually.
Because I think I would enjoy that way more than managing three potentially selfish assholes that I don't care about.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that their quibbles are getting in the way of me quote unquote winning the game. I think it would be way more interesting if I was like angry at Birdcatcher for being selfish because he did this when I needed this, and so on and so forth. Like, I think that would be a much more interesting game.
Yeah, it would be interesting doing a multiplayer, but they'd have to massively expand on the game for sure to make it
Get away from the exit, Keith. Get away from the exit.
Oh, we find the vault.
Yeah, I didn't hear hobbled, so I was just standing at the end talking.
Oh, yes.
But they'd have to massively expand on the game to make it interesting for everybody.
I'm aware. Yeah, I know.
Like as it exists right now, nighttime is one person goes out to scavenge, and you can assign everyone else to either defend the base or sleep, because sleep is a resource you manage too, and there's no gameplay for anyone except the scavenger in the current build. Like you put people to defend your base, and that just affects how alert people are at your base, and like that mixes with the statistics of like what defenses you have to affect the dice rolls involving having behind the scene about whether or not you get raided and whether or not the raid that happens consumes ammo or wounds people or takes supplies and stuff like that. It's like there's invisible stuff happening behind the scenes, while in real life you're playing as the scavenger and looking for resources and playing a side-scrolling level.
You know what? I'm actually kind of excited for from E3 now that we're talking about this. Shoot, what's the zombie? It's a zombie survival game.
Resident Evil 7?
No.
Another job well executed.
Because that, by the way, that game has a cute logo.
I barely looked at that.
That stood out to me. They took the word Resident Evil, which is in all caps in blocky letters, and the VIL is the 7. So
it was an indie like survival game, and I'm like indie zombie survival game, and I'm trying to remember what it is because it had kind of
that might be the most populated genre outside of dual stick shooters.
I know. Well, no, it was like one of the first ones. That's my point.
Oh, Project Z?
No, it's not Zomboid. Zomboid's not out of early access, but it came out at about the same time. And I'm trying to remember the name of this.
We're talking about an early zombie survival indie game.
Yeah, it was third person, and it actually had kind of like an action combat system and stuff. And it pissed a lot of people off because they promised multiplayer and that never delivered. And then
it came out on Xbox 360 and then came out again on Xbox One and PC.
Yeah.
I know what game you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called. It was $20, I think.
Yeah.
It was originally designed, I believe, to be a multiplayer online RPG. Like, it's not even that they failed to fulfill that feature. That was literally going to be the game. It was going to be like a big online game, and they had to go back on their scale and turn it into and repurpose the entire map into being a single-player open world game because they couldn't make it work, basically.
Oh, State of Decay.
State of Decay. That's the one.
Yeah, the second one
I'm going to interrupt you right now, just to say that I think I'm done. I'm literally falling asleep right here, so...
Good night.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Good night.
Okay. I'm gonna take this.
I'm yellow and spinning.
I forget. Yeah, so the sequel is going to be multiplayer. Like, actually, from the get-go multiplayer.
Chat, I've seen basically no trailers. So far, I've seen the trailers for Resident Evil 7 and whatever the Kojima game was called that I forgot the name, but it has naked Norman Reedus in it.
But yeah, I'm actually super stoked with that possibly being like multiplayer, because I've wanted to do like a sandboxy zombie survival game with like you and Bird and other people, but there's never been any good ones.
I just remember that Abduction's supposed to come out this month.
Yes.
Abduction,
supposed
the
to.
new game from the Mist people. It still doesn't have a release date or any news, but it's
Which
June
means
now.
it's delayed. It says July 26, 2006. Right now. I don't believe that personally, but I have no idea.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
They're an indie studio, so it comes out when it's ready.
Yeah, it's an indie studio staffed by really old dog veterans that haven't been in the industry for a while either.
Yeah.
So, like, the concept of, like, a Kickstarter, anything... I mean, I'm putting this in the same boat as Mighty Number 9, just in terms of, like, output. But yeah, it says, Abduction is well underway, release is planned for July 26, 2016.
Oh, I guess Luna Row. They're asking me about... I thought there were games, but they're the next updates to Warframe.
Oh.
I don't have the context to care about updates to Warframe.
They announced it. You don't care.
I'm not done knowing about current Warframe yet, so I can't appreciate the changes they make. It'd be like being like a level 20 in World of Warcraft and finding out that Alteric Valley is going to have balancing changes about how long it takes for units to respawn, and I'm like, what?
What?
I'm like, I am in the Barrens. It's really toxic chat here, but that's all I've got. I don't know what an Alteric Valley is yet. So I can't... I don't know.
We should play Zomboid at some point too, come to think of it, because that does actually have multiplayer.
Yeah. I've always wanted to. That was controversial for some reason, right? Like the creator being a dick or something?
No, he lost a lot of files and had to go back like several versions, and so all the patches kind of dried up for a while, and people got really pissed at him for that, even though honestly it wasn't his fault. Let's see. Are we on PC? Yes. Yes, we are. Keith, do you want to keep going? Or should we call this a stopping point?
If I remember correctly, Barrens is levels 12 to 25, chat. I could stop whenever. I'm fine. Or I could keep playing.
Okay.
I have not gotten tired yet, and this is the end of my day. I don't plan on following this up with anything else. I can't squeeze in an episode of Valkyria tonight for an hour and a half.
That's a good point. You know... Okay,
that game has long-ass missions.
I got our next, I've got a replacement for Shadow for the time being.
Okay.
Hi. 1 second, I can't hear you over the stream playback.
Not hi, Effie.
Hi, Effie.
Now I'm good. Hi.
Okay, there we go. Now what do we do? So Keith has got everything. I guess Keith...
I actually own all the Gwent cards, chat. In physical copies, because I'm a monster. I'm surrounded by exactly 0 people that know the rules of that game.
A second here, my overlay for Discord just bugged out, and it's gonna bug the crap out of me if I don't fix it.
What's up,
1 second.
Wonder?
What do you need next? Have you finished your Lex Prime yet, or do you still need, like, random junk for it?
Lex Prime. I don't remember what it is. Let me hang on a minute.
Yeah, because that's probably a weapon we should get you to make, because...
I need 8 Orokin cells to make it.
Oh, boy.
I've made the barrel and the receiver.
I mean, honestly, we could just do ODD or ODS for that.
Is that better for Orokin cells than, like, Draco is?
I mean... Honestly, it's hard to say. I don't know the exact drop rates between the two of them.
Oh, chat.
I'm trying to think.
Anything I say about World of Warcraft is going to be outdated. Because I played original World of Warcraft. There was no Southern Barons. It's just the Barons.
Let's see. I'm gonna go... Batbeard, why don't you go Frost Prime? Effie, you want to go Trinity? I'll go Necro.
Sure.
Okay.
And we'll do ODD. And I'm just gonna sit there mashing the 3 button forever. And hopefully that'll work. I feel like that's kind of been my lot in life for this, like, the past 4 hours already. And I might as well just get it all done with now.
Be sure to unequip your key, though.
I already did.
I think I still have... go ahead.
I'm slow as hell with the hobble key, so I was like marching around my ship. I'm like, I need to take this off, otherwise I'm going to go insane.
Yeah, I typed in chat. Shouldn't you be using, I don't know, Volt or something if you're bringing hobbled?
I wanted to get to the very end and boop and bounce it up because
I guess, yeah.
Funny. Unfortunately, the hobbled dragon key was the one that was required like 9 times out of 10. So it's just like, ugh.
Really?
Why me?
Anytime I'm playing with anybody, it's the hobbled key is almost never used.
I opened 4 doors today.
I saw you open 2 of them. I might not have been there for the others. But
Yeah.
but before I forget, I still have a resource drop chance booster, so hopefully that'll help with the organ cells as well.
Yeah, that'll be a good idea. If this doesn't work very well, then we'll switch over to.
I think
He still has his key on.
Yeah, I've still got a key.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
take it off
you might
because
wanna-
otherwise you'll be bleeding out during another mission that we don't need it for.
Oh, was it bleeding me?
Yeah, it does that.
I never knew about that.
It reduces your maximum health total.
Oh, that's why it's 75 hit points. I was curious about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not know what was going on. But I do have fleeting expertise equipped now, and I just finished upgrading it to my current
That is
Warframe
so awesome.
max.
Way to go. I've been waiting. I just got mine on Sunday, and now I have a duplicate.
Yeah. I'm slowly getting all the things I was going for. I've got what do I have right now? Yeah, I've got flow, streamline, fleeting expertise, energy siphon. I've got most of the list. I think that I was going for.
Is there anything else you're missing? I might be able to take a look.
Right
and see
now,
if I
my
have
biggest
anything.
limitation is just trying to get Volt Prime, so I can then upgrade it to double its capacity, so I can actually equip more than like 3 mods. Because I'm limited to 30, which limits options a bit. So I
Yeah.
basically got those things I just listed, plus like the one that massively increases my shield as Volt. And
Oh, so your redirection.
yeah. And that's like most of what I'm even able to fit on the character, because we're saving doubling its capacity until I get the Prime.
Our position has been
Yeah,
compromised.
it's almost not worth
Defend the cargo until
doubling the
reinforcements
standard if
arrive.
you're planning on getting the Prime at some point, unless it's something like Ember or Frost.
Yeah,
In
and
which
now I
case,
actually
still a
have the
good idea.
Prime. I just need to wait for the crafting to happen.
I will admit I've doubled my like Inaros and my
Yeah.
Zephyrins because the primes probably won't be coming out for like.
Well,
You also
I'm
play
more so saying if
significantly
there's a Prime
more,
for
so you
it.
have a lot of resources to spend.
This is true.
yeah.
Judging by all the Warframes you're just switching through willy-nilly.
Well, I mean,
It
to be
was something
fair,
to do.
he does play a lot off camera.
Yes,
that,
and a lot
some
on
of the guys
camera.
here and, and a lot, yeah.
Oh,
It's just one of those games that you really can play on or off camera, just and almost. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say you won't get tired of it, but it's definitely one of the games.
It's
that
very
hard to get tired
easy
of.
to kind of shut off your brain and be like, I'm just doing this objective.
there's just an inherent
it's
nature of it
enjoyable
that
enough.
makes it so that it's not necessarily a game where like your audience will necessarily feel like they missed out on something if you just skip 3 hours of gameplay for the series.
Yeah. And honestly, you can basically stay here at the center. You don't really need to run around at all.
But I never want to stop moving in this game.
I know it's hard, but
I just jump around like a lunatic all the time for no reason.
The movement in this game is really fun. Probably the best in any third-person shooter I've ever played.
I'm just spamming energy attacks because it won't run out. It's just
Yeah.
infinite energy.
As long as we've got a Trinity here, you're set for life on energy.
I'm just using my
And
ult
then
over and over again.
and the nice thing is, Purple managed to get a hold of Vampire Leech for me, so any extra energy is converted into overshields.
Nice.
So what currently does purple shields exactly?
That's the overshield. It's basically 150% your regular shields.
Ah.
Let's see. I've finally completed second dream. What's my opinion? I'm actually going to wait on that. We're building up so Keith can do it, and then I'll discuss it with Keith then. Because if I talk too much about it, then Keith is not going to be able to, well,
Give his impressions.
I don't know. I mean, after a certain point, like, it's going to so over-spoil it that there's no point in enjoying it. I
Yeah,
liked
people
it
already
enough.
talk
I
about it
wish
so
there were more
much
of
that
it.
it's
That's
practically already a spoiler.
Well, they are
It's
planning
true.
on adding a couple of major quest lines with the new update after Lunar's released.
Like there's a certain amount of
I
hyping
hope
that comes
they
up
do
where
that.
now it's like going into a movie expecting a twist. It's like,
yeah.
wow, you'll love this movie. You'll never see the twist coming until I said this just now. Now you're fucked. Now you're thinking about the twist.
When's the twist gonna happen? When's the twist gonna happen?
Exactly.
Is this the
Just
twist
happened.
right
Well,
at the
that-
beginning?
that,
Is this
Yep.
It would have been revolutionary if
If it just happened as a fun surprise and everyone was hushed about it, and there was no warm up to it.
but since everybody's like second dream,
Yeah.
like all right.
Every stream and every video I upload always has a comment about Second Dream.
Oh, there we go.
So there's no like,
Yeah.
it can't surprise me. Like it's impossible now. That was one
kinda
of my
reminds
favorite
me-
things that happened recently on Game Grumps. Actually, was that Aaron managed to go through all of Ocarina of Time without ever hinting, like ever giving away to Dan that Sheik was Zelda. And
Wow.
and Dan didn't know
To
because
be
he'd never
honest-
played Smash or like been in contact with games for a while. So he just
To be honest with you, there are still people to this day that don't know that, just because of the fact that they just
There's still people
either
that
haven't
believe,
seen-
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like he just
when you
lost his
consider the
mind
fact
in that
that-
moment when he saw it. I've always known it because Smash just blatantly spoils it for you.
yeah.
Yeah. I know people that
Still
still
argue.
reject that. That are
Exactly.
just like, nah. Sheik and Zelda are different people. And I'm like, but Smash? And they're like, no, doesn't count. I'm like,
Also, the
What?
game where they're from.
Also,
They-
when you consider the fact that she explains exactly who she is in game,
How could you decline? How could you deny that? They just never play the game, or they just actively
Yeah.
ignore it? Oh my god,
hey
that's a lot
guys,
of pink
it's
lightning.
canon. It's
Look at this
explained
pink
in that
lightning.
game.
There's so much.
I know, you've made like a
Oh
nice
my
little
God.
pentagram there. It's pretty funny looking.
They won't die. They're just
You know,
pink.
speaking of, sorry, go ahead.
It's because the ancient healers are all giving them defensive boosts, so they won't die until you take the ancient healers out.
Can't stop
Anyway,
casting.
Effie,
It
go.
just keeps going.
Yeah, speaking of spoilers, just going back to that, it kind of reminds me of, I actually recently watched Deadpool, and there was so much fourth wall breaking. It was not even funny.
It was a little hard to sit
No,
through.
it was funny. It was
at times.
terribly funny.
Yeah, no, but my point is, there's just so much fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job on it, though. They did it in a way that it's not going to give too much away, but at the same time, you kind of feel like you know what's going to happen, but it doesn't really spoil it for you.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
Deadpool by and large, but there
Extraction
was
is ready.
the fourth wall breaking got a little
Handle
tiring.
more
Where
enemy.
I got tired of the I got tired of the movie saying, "Wow, yeah, this isn't that type of superhero movie. I really stabbed that guy." Like they had
Continue to
moments
defend.
like, "Wow, you didn't expect that, did
For your
you?"
bravery.
Like 5 times in the film. I'm like, "Stop it, stop
Yeah.
it, stop it. I get it. I came in here knowing what Deadpool was.
Yeah.
It's okay."
I really hope they do better for the Cable and Deadpool one, just in terms of like writing and whatever.
It's a fourth wall break inside of a fourth wall break.
Actually, Keith, you were mentioning like kind of getting into comics and the art styles and stuff. I would actually really recommend reading Cable and Deadpool, just as like one of the only things to
Oh
read.
right, we were on that topic a long time ago, and I lost track of what I was saying.
Because that was such a solid comic book.
'Cause I never mentioned the art style I like, did I?
No.
So I've seen. I don't know the time area because this is what I was saying when I started saying I don't know who any artists are, and then we went on a tangent from there. But I was saying that because I don't know how to refer to the one I'm talking about. But specifically, there's an arc with Butterball, the guy that has like no real powers but just can't get hurt, and like sort of like a new
yeah.
class of X-Men, and like that specific art style. I'm like, oh wow, I like that. It reminds me of the X-Men like First Class cartoon. There's a certain there's certain styles I really enjoy, but like there's a certain like hyper muscle Captain America art style where I'm like, I don't really want to read a book of this.
No, those aren't good at all. The new styles have definitely gone a lot more cartoony, almost to the point where people are accusing it of being a bit anime.
Yeah.
And
Like once the
it's
really
a
shitty
lot
artist
more
went away, I
digestible.
think a lot of the X-Men art's been pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, X-Men's been good since a while, honestly. Like the Silver Age comic book art for X-Men was pretty good, but the like once they hit the 2000s, the art style got real nice from my perspective. Problem is, I have a hard time liking X-Men because there's so many characters, and it's just they're never happy. Like there's no like
because they're always because
like,
it's inherently a discrimination story.
Well, yeah, but like they've even kind of lost that after a certain point. So now it's just like about various people dying or like the world ending or like betrayals and shit now. Like this one where okay, this is spoilers for a lot of comics that came out like years ago at this point. Sorry, but so they had this one like plot line recently where they split the Phoenix between like 5 of the biggest X-Men-ish at the time, and they all went like crazy with power, including like Scott just flat out killing Xavier and like several things like that. And
so the least popular character killing the most popular character.
Exactly, and it's just like that's kind of the setting for all of X-Men for a very long time for me.
Yeah.
Like
Cyclops,
shitty
the
thing
favorite
happens,
character of children who do not exist.
It's like shitty things happens, they make it through somehow, but they have losses. But because people are continuously mutating, we have yet more, you know, replacement characters that we can just slide in. But everybody that still existed is psychologically damaged until they die, and then we cycle them in for new people to become psychologically damaged. Like, I was looking up my favorite X-Men, like the young X-Men. And
it makes you wonder, like, did Phoenix sell really well or something? Like, did the Phoenix story arc sell so well that they have to just break the psyche of everybody now?
It sold okay. I don't know. It was like one of the big arcs that they were trying to kind of push, like Civil War, but it wasn't as interesting. Though actually, within this like big arc, it had my favorite Spider-Man moment ever. Where like he was fighting a super-powered Colossus by himself, while everybody else was trying to run away. And you know, this is just Spider-Man, so pretty good fighter, but not that great a fighter. And it's him running around with broken arms, making fun of Colossus, and eventually then Colossus and Colossus's sister to more or less kill each other because of Spider-Man making dumb jokes. And I thought it was probably the like best Spider-Man thing I've seen in a long time, and it made me really happy to read. But the arc
I've always
itself
kind of liked the X-Men
really
partly
weird.
because of how unimportant a lot of the characters are.
It's true.
So I've always
It
liked
is,
ensemble casts where it feels like there isn't necessarily a main character. Because when you have a main
Yeah.
character, it often feels like nothing can happen.
No, that's a good point.
It'll
Well,
be a shocking
sort
event
of.
that sells comic books once every 5 years. Black Spider-Man,
then they-
dead
then
Spider-Man,
they-
but otherwise they're fine.
Marvelous.
Then they figure out how to fix it later, or like retcon it, or
Yeah.
replace it somehow. Like they shot Captain America, but really they just sent him on a time travel trip. And right now, Captain America is apparently okay. This is a way more recent spoiler to like the Steve Rogers series that they just started. Though the news won't shut up about it, so I don't know. But in the latest comic book run, Captain America is a double agent for Hydra, and it's implied that he's always been, which doesn't make any sense. And now everybody's like,
I don't know anything about the arc, and I've already been exposed to this because of like it's basically a meme at this point of people photoshopping the reveal image over and over again, and like
Yes.
replacing Captain America with various other like cultural icons like Tony the Tiger or whatever.
Yeah. I found out about it because of one of my like favorite webcomics. Oh right, I should probably use my like thing.
Everything
Oh, yeah,
is
5. There we
purple.
go. Hey Keith, where are you? Keith, where are you?
I've always
Spoilers.
been.
Keith, spoilers. Keith, there you are.
You're gonna put
Spoilers.
spoilers on
I
me.
got spoilers right here. I'm
Oh my
chasing
God.
you around with spoilers.
You're
There
gonna
we
put me in. Can you cover me in spoilers so I can be aerodynamic?
go. No.
I'm
No,
denying
there's
this
no helping
joke.
you.
I
You will
rejected.
fly like a potato. You will only fly like potato.
I will send you into sky like potato.
Okay, somebody's gonna be legitimately furious with me for that.
Why? For potato?
No, for the me chasing you around with the spoiler.
I don't understand what that even means. I don't even know what happened.
Reinforcements available.
You look like you were
Do
spewing
choose to
ammo at
leave
me
now
or something.
continue fighting?
I was really confused.
Yeah, that's kind of the point why I'm making fun of it here, because you still don't know. and that's okay.
I don't know what you did.
But
you were throwing like they
Another
look like
opportunity
Roombas
They're gonna
covered
see
in
it.
paint.
Appear soon.
They're gonna see it, and they're gonna be furious, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Were you throwing Roombas at me?
No, I was using my spoiler ability.
What's that do?
That will ruin all
Is
of
that when you
Second
keep
Dream for
talking
you the
about
moment
characters
you
who
see
died
it.
in the Walking Dead video game in the middle of MMO Let's Plays?
God. Apparently,
fuck.
this is just a side thing. Shell saw the trailer for the Walking Dead 3 Telltale game.
Oh,
Because
they're
apparently they
making
put
one?
that out.
Oh, jeez.
Apparently, yeah.
This is the first I've heard of
And
it.
she was like, yeah, same thing for me. She was super stoked about it. I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to play another Walking Dead game. I guess I will.
I want to play another Walking Dead Season 1, but a sequel to it. But I'm
that's what I
concerned
wanna
about
play.
the fact that Telltale currently doesn't make that anymore, even.
Games? Yeah, they don't make games.
Walking Dead Michonne was not... It would be hard to call it interactive fiction.
Actually, Keith.
It was just
the
it was
game
just
you
an anim. It was watching a Pixar movie that has trouble loading sometimes.
Keith, the game you might want to look into, by the way, since you like these kind of like choicey games, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I
might
know.
actually
It's
be
David
pretty
Cage.
good. You've heard of that one?
Yeah, Heavy Rain,
Okay.
Beyond Two Souls. It's him.
Okay.
I'm
I didn't
on
know if
track.
you'd heard anything about it. Because they were like, more or less the trailer for it is like,
Yeah,
by
Detroit
the
was
way,
announced
here's all
like
the
6 months ago, I
branching
wanna
weird
say.
choices you can do. I'd only seen the like weird promo for it.
Did you
where
watch?
it was, like,
Did you watch the one about the AI cyborg lady? Like the video that came
Yeah.
out like 3 years ago?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
I was
because
like, oh,
that's
this-
what Detroit is.
that's
They're
pretty.
turning that short into a game.
Yeah, she's an. I was glad that she's actually going to be a character. That wasn't just like a tech demo that's going to be irrelevant.
Because it totally was
'Cause I
a tech
hate it when
demo that was going to
happens.
go nowhere originally.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm glad
but-
they're making that into a thing.
It had a
'Cause that
strong
was
reception.
legitimately probably. Yeah, that was one of the more emotional things I've seen in a while. And I was like,
Did you see the
I
other
kinda wanna
short
play
he
this.
made where it was like a housewife in a kitchen being all having an emotional monologue?
No, haven't seen that.
Because the
Probably
freakiest,
should.
it's really outdated now, but at the time it was like mind-blowingly realistic looking and convincing because it was the tech for Heavy Rain. But the really fun gimmick there was that it was a fully mocapped and everything like audition short. Because the gimmick there was the idea was the idea of the author auditioning for a part in Heavy Rain. I mean the actor. Did I say author? The actor was auditioning for their part in Heavy Rain because that actor is in Heavy Rain, but not as that character. Like as a
So
similarly
was all-
tragic character.
Was all this stuff in Heavy Rain mocap?
Yeah, heavily mocapped.
There's a Neurodin organ cell around here. Just as a heads
Oh,
up.
nice.
There's a whole lot of mocap in Heavy Rain and way more mocap with newer technology in Beyond Two Souls, which is where they had Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe.
Oh, I didn't know that Willem Dafoe was the other character in that one.
Oh yeah, he's around the cover.
I've seen and heard literally nothing about it, apart from people who are mad at Mari for it, for whatever reason, because sexism.
Because it has female protagonists, therefore it's SJW game. That's how the internet
Yeah.
works now, for some portions of it, is that literally everything with a vagina is actually part of a feminist agenda and can't just
Oh,
exist as being female.
Okay, so I've watched two
There's literally
E3
nothing
streams.
feminist about any part of that game, by the way.
So I've watched two E3 streams so far this week, the Sony one and the Bethesda one. And the moment Horizon Zero Dawn showed up, I just saw just like an infinite number of just like really shitty comments about a female protagonist. I'm just like,
That's
I
just a
suddenly
game where you
kinda
hunt
hate-
dinosaurs as a futuristic caveman, isn't it?
well, but their dinosaurs are robots, and
yeah.
also,
well, yeah, robo dinosaurs and
Yes.
future caveman. It's one of those impossible crossover things that's just like fun
So,
to screw around with.
Hey, Keith,
Basically,
hey,
art
Keith,
with
how do you like my
mechanical-
spoilers?
I don't
How do you feel about
understand.
spoilers?
I don't know what you're
Keith, get back to
saying.
Spoilers.
I don't know what any of the things you say mean. You're saying words that are foreign to me. I've run out of energy at long last. I didn't know it was possible.
Go stand near Effie. He'll take care of you.
Like, do you guys know what the plot of Beyond Two Souls is? Like,
I've seen
not at
the
all.
game. I'm not going to say too much about it just in case somebody in here doesn't. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I know what it is. Honestly, there's no way that it could be even remotely related to a feminist agenda.
Yeah, it
with
doesn't make
just
any
how
sense.
Yeah.
the story plays out.
Just the
like,
very basic premise is just that Ellen Page plays a girl who has some kind of spiritual presence that's tied to her that she can sometimes sort of control to like almost like to have it manipulate stuff like telekinesis style and things like that. And the government catches on and pulls her into a project, and that's the it all goes from there. Like there's nothing like
because of the fact that they think that she has psionic powers or something ridiculous.
I can't even remember if there's a resolution to it.
The
it's not
only
like she
reason
goes up into
that
the
I can
attic
think
and they're
of
secretly lesbians or something.
The only reason I can think of that they would even try and remotely relate it to feminism is just simply because of the fact that the entity is a male entity.
The closest thing you can get to is
ridiculous.
the fact that maybe female soldier. She technically is a soldier at some point.
Well,
but she's
so
like,
what? Big
but
deal.
she has superpowers.
So it's a female super soldier.
She's only a few
what do you
steps
do?
removed from being the character she plays in X-Men.
Oh yeah,
Shadowcat.
it's true.
There's a lot of guys here,
I
and
wanna go
they're
back
covered
to-
in fire and lightning.
I wanted to go back to Horizon Zero Dawn for a moment. Just speaking of female protagonists, I'm really happy that they made her like not a thin, like stick-like woman. If that makes any sense.
Does she look more like,
Like,
Scotsman
not like-
Disney?
She looks
What's her
like
name?
she'd fit.
Merida?
She
So
looks
more
like she'd
like the
fit
average
in.
woman, rather
Well,
than.
I'd say she looks like she would fit in like kind of a Viking story as a female character. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't make a slender
So,
like caveman or Viking
a
character.
little-
It looks wrong.
Exactly.
A little bit more muscular, less.
Yeah, definitely
Less so
muscular.
than the, like,
not
model
super
style.
tall.
They gotta look
Not
like they're at
very
home with a
leggy.
great hammer.
Yeah.
Did
or
you,
in her
did you
case-
mind control someone?
That's
my Eximus.
Oh, he's on
Yeah.
a team.
yeah, it's like a summon goon
There's like
you can
nothing
bring in.
about him that would make me think that.
Yeah,
I've
sorry.
got a
here.
bunch of those.
Like,
that
why
I
is he
probably start
invulnerable?
using someday.
Am I lacking out?
Yeah, you wouldn't be. Trust me, if I wanted to make it more complicated, I'd just bring out my Charger Eximus, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference at all.
Yeah,
There's just a
that
cloud of
dude
units
just
around me.
blends right in. I was having the hardest time with him, especially with all the special effects. Let me think. She also doesn't have like the most attractive face ever, which I'm pretty okay with. I liked that.
Yeah, fuck him up.
Trying
It's
to
fine.
think of.
Let's put video games out there with female Marcus Phoenixes.
You know, I'd be okay with a female Marcus Phoenix as
In
long as
Gears
she
of
was an
War, every
interesting
character's
character.
face looks like it's just a clenched fist, and then the girl shows up and she's like a
know.
model. It's like what the what?
Yeah.
A weird addition. Oh,
think the only
stuff
time-
shaking.
Well, I don't know. There's plenty of times where I'm totally okay with like
This
just the
video's gonna take
conventional female
5 hours
character.
to render with all this shit on the screen.
Oh yeah. Warframe definitely takes longer. By the way, Keith, I didn't tell you, but Sony Vegas finally betrayed me.
Oh yeah?
It won't stop crashing, so I can't render videos with it anymore, and I can't figure out why. I uninstalled it,
That's
reinstalled
probably GPU rendering. Turn it off.
it. Nope.
Have you
not.
submitted a support ticket for it?
No. I gave up. I've got Premiere, so I just switched back to Premiere. And now I'm using Premiere, and it's not betraying me, so it's like, whatever. I'll just ping-pong back and forth between these things until some shit works and some shit doesn't.
Have I told you my gimmick idea for Heavy Rain? For how to do
What?
like a let's play of it?
Continue to defend. You will be
I want to get
rewarded
together
for your
3
bravery.
other people who have not played it yet, and I can sort of guide us through it a little bit as the one sort of veteran or whatever. And
So
what
every time you
happens
switch
is-
characters, you have a new person playing?
Yeah, everyone plays a different character's chapters. So if that's the POV
good.
character of the chapter, they have the controller and make all the decisions. So they're literally decisions being made by 4 different people.
So
Keith-
it's
When we move, you need to get a girlfriend and or fiance, and then we'll be set.
Or we just need to ship over Bird.
Yeah. I mean, it would be like a one-day drive for him to get there. Actually, you know what? Stainless and Anti-Housewife. If you're up for it, it's
I like the
a-
idea of everyone
we can-
role-playing their own characters, because then you can be selfish. You can do things that are counter to the what would benefit
Okay.
other characters. Because if you're playing all of
I
them,
actually really like this idea.
Yeah, if you're playing all the characters, you make decisions that benefit where you want the story to go in a wholesome way, like all combined. Like so, like one character will do illogical things to help another character because you're all of those characters, and that sucks.
Wow.
It's like having four separate characters is fantastic. That's what we did for Beyond Two Souls, because they gave it 2-player mode. So Andrew was the shitty ghost that could do whatever he wanted, and he was fucking up all my parties. I was trying to have a sleepover, and he burned the house down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well then.
That's Andrew the Ghost, and me as Ellen Page.
So the question is, how often do you switch roles in Heavy Rain?
Every chapter.
How many chapters are there?
I don't know, like 30 maybe? I don't know.
Aren't the chapters like about an hour long or so?
It varies wildly.
You might as well. At that point, you might as well just pass around the save file almost.
No, I think live reactions are part of the fun.
Yeah. No, that would make sense. Okay, so yeah, what we could do is just drive down to Stainless's place when he's not busy.
Yeah.
And just have a weekend where the 5 of us are more or less on 2 couches with microphones, getting angry at me.
I don't think you'd be able to do the full game in a weekend.
You probably could. It's like 8 to 10 hours long. It's not too bad, actually.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
it's probably a bit longer than Until Dawn.
Yeah.
So you could do it in a few days.
We could also do like a week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's shorter than Demon Souls, and we did that in a weekend.
It's true.
We did all of Demon Souls in a weekend. What's wrong with us?
Yeah, what I want to do is do the same thing. We drive down there and we play Dokapon Kingdom, and that's actually hideously long, surprisingly. But playing Dokapon with you guys would be the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, part of why I had this idea is because that was one of the most praised things that a lot of people really liked for a long time was we did our Beyond Two Souls co-op playthrough, which I think we were the only people on YouTube for a long time to even play the multiplayer and do a full series on it. Oh, I actually died.
Yeah, see, that's why you stay in the bubble.
While my carrier survives. Quickly. It's really fun to run around in circles like a lunatic and lightning everything.
Yeah, unfortunately you're getting hit by poison damage.
Yeah.
At this point we're getting hit by the toxin, and
it's
shit
fine.
Hurts.
Lightning everywhere. Lightning everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm set up for
Trinity.
For Eevee rather than Blessing, but
yeah, but you can still cast it and keep us up.
Right. Well, the Blessing more so it's with the damage resistance that I'm not built for.
Your summon was just standing here and shooting the pod that we're protecting.
Well, yeah, it's trying to shoot something on the other side of it because pathfinding is dumb.
He is not a bright fellow.
It's not even AI at that point. That's like perfect dark AI.
Oh, jeez, don't. No, just
check out my dark sim. It's always shooting in your general direction.
So
those guys were menacing and creepy, right? Because if you made a series of them, they'd all run down hallways perfectly in unison with each other, all aiming at the closest enemy through a wall. It's like they all knew in unison, like they were some sort of super predator.
So has Keith done the any of the arena stuff yet?
No, we were getting there,
goodness.
But I figured I'd get him like Volt Prime and the Lex Prime before we tried touching Kayla to Thame, just because immediately after that we'd be going on to Nata. And, and I'd rather.
Kayla's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about him versus the actual half-decent AI.
The shock drone dude.
There's secretly AI in this game.
It's the shock drone guy that's the problem. No,
where have they been hiding the AI all this time?
It's not that they're actually that much better. They just are way more dangerous than your
better movesets and stuff.
Enemy. Yeah, like there's one guy that just puts up these shock drones, and if they get near you, you just die, which is kind of.
They zap you and set you on fire. The worst one, though, out of all the executioners, is definitely the guy who gives procs the magnetic effect. It's so annoying.
The healers remind me of WoW's tree people.
Guy.
The weird moss monsters.
Yeah.
The bog lords.
Oh yeah, they totally do look like that.
Whilst I'm thinking about it, the butcher isn't that bad, but he can be kind of annoying if you're not paying attention.
I mean, mostly I figured he'd
My lightning has way more range than I thought. I can shoot people that are on the steps over there.
Oh yeah.
And more so, what I mean by that is, if he sneaks up behind you or teleports behind you, he can just one-shot you outright. So.
Hi, Keith.
Hi.
Keith, how do you like your spoilers?
Why are you that guy that isn't very good at aiming in Civil War?
Do you like your spoilers? I like my spoilers.
Civil War?
I just gave you a spoiler. He looks like
bad at aiming in the Civil War.
Yeah, he looks like Crystal Head.
I honestly have no idea. Yeah, I've already seen Civil War.
America Civil War Crystal Face Man. Played by that old actor.
You mean that kind of... Okay. I thought you were talking about Civil War as in, like, the American Civil War.
Spoilers, the British lost.
So I was gonna say, you know...
I think the spoilers have expired on the Civil War.
Not ready aim fire. They couldn't aim.
Spoilers, the Americans won.
Yeah. Civil War spoilers expired shortly after the Titanic.
I had no idea. How dare you?
I didn't say any spoilers.
Okay.
You have to wait for me to spoil it before you say that. Spoilers, the Titanic existed.
Have any of you guys seen the Disney knockoff JonTron video yet?
No.
Mostly this
the Nightmare Simba?
Yes.
The Mufasa of the Mufasa who has no mouth but he must scream.
Like, it's weird.
There's
but
nightmare fuel in JonTron.
Yeah, my favorite part of his most recent video was not the reviews, but the everything that wasn't, which is really weird because usually I don't like the other stuff that much. But this time
also,
around,
you gotta get his name right. It's Timothy Brentwood.
What?
Oh, you haven't seen that?
From the donkey video?
Yeah, the donkey video.
That shit was... Oh god, that was...
The idea that JonTron's a hired actor. And he made a fake IMDb page image, like it's...
That was probably one of the funniest things I had seen in a while. So, Effie Batbeard, if you guys haven't heard of this, you guys know how, like, the Fine Bros were copyrighting everything?
Yes.
Or were trying to, and, like...
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now?
Not another one.
Continue fighting.
No, we're leaving, Keith.
You can't stop me.
You only go...
Okay, have fun solo.
No, you want to leave. It'll keep you here. It'll keep you here for the next 5 waves by yourself. You're in trouble.
Of course, when you die, and you will, you'll lose everything.
To get out of here.
The weird thing about
also
the Fine Brothers thing is that if they only very slightly tweaked how they're approaching it, it would have not been crazy.
Yeah.
Because like the basic idea that they were kind of pitching was the idea that they were like basically like putting out the call for like they're essentially creating an opportunity for you to be like a spin-off channel of their thing, like a partnership thing, sort of thing. But they went about it all the wrong ways to make it the worst possible thing. It's like instead of being like, you know, you're buying a 7-Eleven chain, it's like we're trying to take over this entire genre as ours.